Hello everybody, it's your bro, Rich here. Good evening to you all. Today in this video, I got a real special video for y'all. I'm gonna take a bit of a break from doing cars. This one is still related to cars, but this one is more of a motorsport, it's more of like a motorsport competition for vehicles. So, I will do more cars as much as I can, if I have the time. I gotta wake up early tomorrow for work. I know it's gonna be tough, but at the same time, I gotta do what's right. Gotta do what I gotta do to earn money and all that kind of stuff. That's important. And so yeah, today this video, I'm gonna be talking to you all about one of the most well-known and most greatest all-time respected, I would say, spectator sports. For all you drifting fans out there, and for all you drifting and crazy stunt fans out there. The motorsport I'm gonna talk to you about is legit one of the greatest all-time motorsports in the world. If you've ever played Need for Speed before, you probably know the motorsport that I'll be talking to you all about. And I'll give you one clue. It's a motorsport that Ken Block, God rest his soul, may rest in peace, used to mostly do before his passing during the start of very early 2023 or on January 2nd in Utah, after the snowmobile landed on top of him. May rest in peace. Say may rest in peace. So it's been 2 years since 2 years since Ken Block tragically passed away. So it's shocking, but it's shocking still to behold of what happened and how it happened at that day. But we'll all remember him as one of the greatest legends of all time, the greatest racing legend as well of all time. Just literally the best. Hoonigan legend, Unicorn legend as well, because he drove the 1,000 horse, well 1,400 horsepower, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was Unicorn Mustang with a twin turbo kit. I think it was twin turbo. I'm not too sure, but I think it was. I think it was presumably. I don't know, but he did many crazy stunts during that time. Just super cool. Anyway, so with that being said, let's get started with today's video. Well, with tonight's video, because it's dark outside. So I gotta check what the time is. So it's around 9 p.m. Well, I got time. So in this video, I'll be talking to you about the motorsport Gymkhana. So a lot of you have heard of this. If no, I'll explain to you what Gymkhana is and what happens there and how they do things there. So yeah, and like the history and everything else. I'll see what I can do if I have the time to do as much as I can. If not, I'll do a second part, maybe third part. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so before I start, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you know when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so without any further ado, let's begin. So, Gymkhana Motorsport. Here we go. So, Gymkhana's a type of motorsport known as Motorkhana. So Motorkhana. So they took out gym from Gymkhana and they put motor, being a Motorkhana, in both Australia and New Zealand, and as auto testing in both the UK and Ireland. Similar to autocross, the goal of Gymkhana is to achieve the fastest time possible, such as like memorizing the course in a significant part. So memorizing the course in a significant part of achieving. So memorizing the course in a significant. So memorizing the course is a significant part of achieving a fast time. The names loaned from the equestrian discipline of Gymkhana. So for the equestrian side, it's basically an equestrian event consisting of speed pattern racing and timed games for riders on horses. So the names loaned from the Christian. So the names loaned from the equestrian discipline of Gymkhana. Gymkhana events are time and or speed events in an automobile, so basically in a car or a truck or anything like, or a pickup truck or anything modified technically, or just stock. It doesn't matter which form of like automobile transport you go with. So these can feature obstacles such as cones, tires, and barrels. So cones, tires, and barrels. The driver must maneuver through a move through the driver must maneuver through a predetermined track, performing many different driving techniques. What separates Gymkhana from traditional autocross events is that the Gymkhana requires drivers to perform. So Gymkhana requires drivers to perform reversals, 180 and 360-degree spins, parking boxes, figure of eights, and other advanced skills. Drifting is also encouraged where either helpful or necessary. Essentially, a gymkhana is any event. So a gymkhana is any event featuring a starting point. So a gymkhana is any events featuring a starting point, finish line. So starting point, finish line, and some sort of obstacle to get through, around, or by, all within a certain time limit. So depending on what kind of obstacle you would have to go through, you would have to do it in the time they would set it to. So next up we got is the drivers. So it's not much on here, but let's do it. So the drivers' goals, it's like the goal is to get through the course as fast as possible with the least amount of mistakes. So with the fewest mistakes as possible. Acceleration, braking, drifting. So acceleration, braking, drifting, and grip. So traction to the tires. So grip driving are all necessary. Not only do the drivers have to hold control over the car, but Gymkhana requires strong mental, both concentration and memorization. Next, history. Gymkhana was originally equestrian in nature. Throughout both history and cultures, riders have come together to test their skills against one another by competing on horseback in challenges. These challenges could be either simple races, or they could incorporate elements such as flag retrieval, maneuvering around pylons, or through rough terrain, like steep hills, like a wet muddy terrain, all that kind of stuff, gravel, you name it, would have that. So the rough terrain. As the art of equestrianism evolved, as the art of equestrianism evolved, Gymkhana became more formalized, taking places at venues such as polo grounds. The origin of motorsport Gymkhana is not certain. However, it's speculated that it might have begun after World War II, when American soldiers brought home both small and nimble cars from Europe. So small and nimble cars from Europe. So small and nimble cars in Europe. The smaller cars designed for dense Euro cities couldn't couldn't compete in races against American cars meant for meant for open countryside. Excuse me if I said it wrong. So new events were designed. For them, involving skillful maneuvering through complex courses. This soon evolved into the American form of autocross. Next up, courses. Gymkhana course. Gymkhana courses. Gymkhana courses. Gymkhana courses typically involve only. Gymkhana courses typically involve only the use of both first and second gear. So first and second gear. So for the first two gears, where auto testing in the UK, both UK and Ireland, add the use of reverse gear. A gymkhana course will typically be from like 45 seconds to 1 minute 30 in length. Like both autocross and auto testing, gymkhana courses are laid out with cones representing obstacles to navigate through. Unlike autocross, which could be considered to be a small version of a road, which can be considered to be a small version of a road course. Obstacles in Gymkhana will only consist of slaloms, 180-degree turns, 360-degree turns, figure of 8 turns, and sometimes parking boxes. This is what some driving tests would have, but for Gymkhana it's a little bit more extreme than that. Sometimes parking boxes. So Gymkhana requires both strong mental concentration and memorization of the track, as sections of the course frequently must be either repeated or navigated backwards and or differently. The driver will use many techniques to effectively navigate a course. E-brake or handbrake technique, drifting and sliding, drifting is this, and left-foot braking are all necessary skills for Gymkhana. Basically, you use your left foot to brake. I believe it's either with or without lifting off the gas. So it's basically braking without using the clutch pedal, which some cars I believe would have like a racing glitch because they have like these sequential gearboxes. So yeah, e-brake technique, drifting and sliding. Technically the sliding is kind of the same as drifting anyways. So basically e-brake technique and drifting. So e-brake technique, drifting, and left-foot braking are all necessary skills for Gymkhana. Okay, next is competition format. We're flying now, it's fast. As the JAF, it's like saying RAF, but taking out the R and putting J. Japan Japan Automobile Federation. So Japan Automobile. So as the JAFs, Japan Automobile Federations of Japan Automobile Federation's a subsidiary of the FIA, Federation Internationale des Automobiles. It's technically French, I can't really say it that well. So FIA classings used for Gymkhana in Japan. Gymkhana courses may be used for an entire year, so like a full year, full 365 or 366 days, depending on if it's a leap year. Leap year essentially means that it's got 1 day ahead, or 364 day below. Either one of those two would work. So Gymkhana courses may be used for an entire year. Unlike both autocross and auto testing, where drivers are presented with a new course for each event. Gymkhana participants are allowed 2 runs on Gymkhana participants are allowed 2 runs of the course, with the fastest time being used to determine the with the fastest time with the fastest time being used to determine the winner with the fastest time being used to determine the winner of a class. Time penalties are issued for for both hitting cones and a failure to navigate the course and a failure to navigate the course correctly results in a no time score. In other words, you won't even for the time penalties you won't score any points once the time is up. So it results in a no time score. Last up is national structure. Gymkhana in Japan has a well-defined competition structure with everything from local to national competitions. Drivers can compete in official events locally in order to qualify for both regional events and so on and so forth. Japan has an AJG, All Japan Gymkhana competition. So All Japan Gymkhana competition each year. So AJG, All Japan Gymkhana competition each year. Despite being governed under the FIA, in Japan, there's no official international Gymkhana competition at this time. Last part and on to there. Drivers in official events may be required. Drivers in official events may be required to hold a JAF. So Japan Automobile Federation. So Japan Automobile Federation issued. So Japan Automobile Federation or JAF. So JAF issued competition license. Okay, so that'll be it. Wow, flown by there fast. That's crazy, just crazy to believe. Okay, so that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you'll never make brand new uploads. Okay, so that'll be it. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Before I end there, I just want to say I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I was so tired I couldn't do it yesterday. So I figured I'd wait till the next evening. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you literally don't make brand new uploads. Okay, so that'll be it. I gotta go. Gotta wake up early for work tomorrow morning. Okay, and so yeah, I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Then. But until then, stay safe. Have a great evening. So stay safe. Have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon. Good night.